about trying to find cultural places to go here. I know like the Great Wall is a big thing for China. I know Tiananmen Square, the Forbidden City. A lot of people want to go to these places, and they're beautiful, and I like these places as well. But I want to get more of that cultural feeling. Places that are important, that when Chinese people travel to Beijing, where do they go? Because I wanted to get more of the culture. When you come to a place like this, it has so much history. You know, I come from a country of 300 years of history, and then you come here and you're told there's 5,000 years of history, but you talk to the people here, and there's actually 10,000 years of history here. And so going to places where you can learn about the history and not just what you're taught outside, such as you're taught about Tiananmen, you're taught about the Great Wall, but you're not taught about the Hutongs. But those are the places that I'm interested in, the things where you can actually get the history from it, and the places that may not have an English translation for the plaques, because those are the places that mean something to China and to Chinese people. The Hutongs, you don't learn about the brothels, you don't learn about the emperor sneaking out at night to go to these brothels, which makes the Hutong so popular, and all of that history that gets wrapped up into it. So I've asked some of the people that I work with if they would take me to these places, that if you were coming to Beijing, or if a friend was coming to Beijing, where would you take them? Where is like a mecca for Chinese people? I want to go there. I want to see those places.
这炒肝你看，盛的很满。
We had what was it? Chowgar? Chowgar?
炒肝。
Chowgar. It's like this pig guts soup. It's everything is okay except for the starchiness of it. The soup is so thick. You can only eat half the bowl and you're stuffed.
Just try. Yeah. There you go.
You experience a lot more, you eat more, and you drink more than that's available in other places. Not a lot goes to waste here, and there's actually, they add flavor to it, so you don't realize that you're eating pig guts. It actually has taste where it's not as disgusting as it sounds.
The longer you stay in China, though, the more you get used to because it's just this odd texture, and then it's an odd taste. And when you have both of those together, it's kind of off-putting. But the longer you stay, the more you try, the more you just get used to it. And so being here for years, you get used to having, that's why when you're like, oh, I don't think you're gonna like it, I might.烤鸭。 烤羊，
这是卤煮，
卤煮，
这是卤煮。
The historical background makes it more interesting. It makes it more real. Go into it and being explained like the center line. If you follow the center line straight in, you walk straight up to the emperor or the emperor's chair, and just having people around to have that translation and to know the history of Beijing and China being so old.
It's the first of Beijing, first gate of Beijing. The first one, second one is Chinese. 天门，然后咱鼓楼
bird nest. Okay. 一瓶二锅头. The very first 白酒 is made here.
Oh.
The Baijiu brewery, and not only just learning about the Baijiu, when you go through, they have a big picture of Mao when they had first united China, and sort of learning about his story, because as a foreigner, when you learn about Chairman Mao, he's a monster. He killed all of these people, it's terrible, but when you learn the history of it from China, it makes you understand more about it, and so you get a different perspective, why we preserve it and why it's still here.
It's very nice. Wow. Genghis Khan? No.
Huh?
Genghis Khan?
Oh, Genghis Khan?
Genghis Khan.
They add like the hat, and you have this gown, and you get to take a picture. It's like being the emperor of China, and she sort of sets you up and tells you how to sit, so she could take this really nice photo. But as a foreigner sitting down in this chair wearing this, we attracted a crowd within 20 seconds of me stepping into this photo booth of people. Oh my God, take a picture, take a picture.
Briefly talk about your experience in China, like how many years you've been here, you know, like just briefly.
Right.
What would you suggest to foreign teachers?
I've been living and working in Beijing for a total of 4 years. I was here and for people coming to China, I think you should travel while you're young. I think maybe even between high school and college, or right when you finish college, I think you should travel. And China being so directly adverse or reversed from what American culture is, China's a great place for that. It's not about bringing your culture here, it's about trying to understand their culture. And if you can understand why they do what they do, then things don't bother you as much. Things won't get under your skin because you understand it. It took me pretty much the entire 4 years that I've been here to start to understand these things. Talk to people that have been here, that are from here, and talk to people on the street, not just the people you work with. Try to talk to everybody that you can. Even if you have broken Chinese, like me, people will still try to talk to you, and they'll talk to you in the broken English that they know. And between the two of you, you can get a better story and really start to understand more of this culture. Go to 798, which is the art district, to see what kind of art that they make here. Go to the museums. Of course, go do the touristy things, the Great Wall, the things like that you have to do when you come to Beijing. But do more than just that. Try to really get involved in the culture. Try to dive into it. Eat the weird things. Don't ask what it is. Eat it first. And leave your culture at the airport. Don't try to force your culture in another country. Try to immerse yourself in there. It makes for a much more authentic and more beautiful experience. It's very easy to just sit at home and do nothing. If you are genuinely interested, there's different places you can find online, different tour groups. If you talk to people around you that you work with or that, and they'll tell you about it, and you'll start to really have a conversation about what Chinese people like about the city. But really the hardest thing for a foreigner, and the biggest culture shock that you'll run into, is there's no English on the buildings. It's all the Hanzi, so it's all their not their alphabet, because that's pinyin, but it's their words, it's their pictures, the Hanzi, and so you don't get the letters. There's no letters on buildings. It's the different images that represent the different sounds in the language. And so you have to start going by landmarks as opposed to going by, oh, okay, I'm going to go to this street and then I'll make a left. No, I'm going to go to the Wangjing Rainbows, and then I'm going to make a left at the Rainbows and follow that down until I see the Starbucks. When I come to the Starbucks, I'm going to make a right, and then that'll take me down to where I want to go. At least for me, that was the hardest part for me. The biggest culture shock was just the lack of, not just English, but just the lack of letters everywhere. Because it's all the pictures, the Hanzi, and so that's something that you need to be ready for when you come out, or at least try to be ready for when you come out.